But
Walk.
yeah, I've managed to build a community. I told myself that Chichi, stop being money driven all the time.
Hello, viewers. Welcome once again to Perspectives. My name is Karen, and this is a continuation of Culture Shock with Chichi.
Yeah.
Chichi, it's nice to have you here
Thank
once
you.
again.
Thank you guys for having me.
So I've got a few questions I would like to ask you. I know you've said a lot of things about Culture Shock. You talked
Yeah.
about the road network. You've talked about, driving.
The weather.
There's a whole lot.
The weather as
Yeah, the weather. So, but there's something you didn't mention, and that is friends, relationship. And we know that, with migration, you really need a lot of integration with people. So my question to you this evening is, did you find it easy or challenging to make friends when you came into the UK? It's a two-part question. And then the second one is, how did social norms differ from, those in the USA?
Okay. So with friends, I think it's nice having a family, because I do have my sister-in-law that literally lives 5 minutes away from me and her family. So it's nice having that there, because you feel a sense of security. You just feel like somebody has your back always. But then in terms of friends, I think with friends and moving into a new country, you have to be intentional.
Yeah.
Intentional in the sense that you have to take out time, even when it's not convenient. You just have to. And I think just to build that relationship, because it's not a relationship that you are building from scratch, like from childhood. This is something that you're building as an adult.
Yeah.
And people are very, very busy.
Yeah.
So you have to do most of the work initially.
Yeah.
So I think just being intentional, and I had to be intentional. And I find myself, even when it's not, convenient for me, I have to push myself, because if I don't, then I wouldn't have any friends. And I think just from me being intentional, I've managed to build a community around me.
Nice. That's really nice.
That they are pretty much like family.
Yeah.
So I hate to say this, but like if if my husband was like, oh, let's go back to the US, I wouldn't, like, before I was like, oh, let's go. I'll pack up my bag. But now I will kind of sit back and kind of think, like, oh, I'm going to miss the people
lot of
around
people.
me.
Yeah,
I'm going to
nice.
miss, the friendship I've built, the family I've built.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think one thing I will give to the UK is that people are a lot more family oriented here in the UK.
Right. Yeah.
And I've built meaningful, solid relationships here in the UK compared to in the US.
Wow.
So
This is good to hear.
Yeah, that's nice to
Really
hear.
good to hear that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So I would have wanted you to answer the second part, but I think you've pretty much covered it about social norms. I think you pretty much said that,
social norms in the US, I find the US a bit more social. There's so much going on, so much activities.
Yeah.
The UK is more subtle. People are a bit more just reserved, I would say.
But no, I can't believe
people
that.
know, but
in
people
America,
do.
people do that.
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah,
well. They
we do
work
work.
more in America than UK.
Yeah, we do
but
work,
they also have fun.
Yeah,
when
we
it's
do
time
have
to-
fun.
We don't really
yeah.
have
No,
fun.
in
Yeah.
UK we don't have fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe that.
Yeah. But in the US, I think social life is a bit more vibrant. Like, there's a lot to do. But here in the UK, it's much more reserved and quiet.
Yeah.
And most of the things I find is more for kids, I would say. In the US, people are a bit more, not more kids focused, but they will spend time with their kids, but they individually go out, and there's so many things for adults to do and go have fun. Like traveling to Vegas, stuff like that, like adults can do. UK holidays are more kids friendly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I quite agree with you.
Yeah.
So my last question before I hand over to Amaka is just in relation to work. How did you find navigating your in your profession here.
Yeah.
How did you find it? Was it any different from, the US? Did you experience any cultural shock working as a nurse? You said you were an A&E nurse.
Yeah, I'm an A&E nurse,
Tell
yeah.
us your experience working.
So my experience working, so in the UK, you do have to register under the NMC.
Yeah.
So I had to go through the whole transition of registering. That took a period of time.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared to step down and downgrade for that period of time, and you have to just be okay with it.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be hard, but you just have to, because there's no way you'll get under their registry. So they go through the whole process, and it's a lengthy process. So I went through the whole process. I got my NMC, and I'm just saying this for people who are thinking about moving to the UK.
That's right.
I think it's a good idea for you to do your research, because yes, mine came out to be came out on the right track, but there I have a group on Facebook. It's called American Nurses in the UK.
Okay.
And there you hear a lot of stories. You hear a lot of stories who literally people packed up their bags and moved either because of family, relationships, for different reasons. People move down to the UK and they have to move back because
Back to America?
because
gosh.
the equivalence is different.
Especially the money bit of it.
Exactly, and then also and also like for them to transition, so, because in the US you have CNA, LPN, associates in nursing, then you have your bachelors in nursing.
Yeah.
So over here, if you're not careful, I have some people who move down to the UK thinking, okay, like I'm a registered nurse, but if you have an associate or an LPN, you're not able to get under the NMC.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have people come from America thinking, okay, they can go through the NMC, and then they find out that after doing the CBT in America and they come here to do the OSCE, then they go through that period and then they find out that they can get their PIN. So now they have to pack up
Oh my god.
their whole life back to the US because they didn't do their research.
But in terms of pay, I know you worked in New York as a nurse, and then you are here in the UK.
I told myself that, Chichi, stop being money driven all the time. And I am tired of complaining about the money. But but you guys want to hear it, right?
Yes, please.
All right.
You don't call figures, but just tell us.
Yes. It's till today. Till today, I am humbled. You can have humbled me in so many ways. Like, I don't consider myself as someone who is very materialistic or flashy, but I do like nice things. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out and buy like name brand things or stuff. But if something looks really nice, it doesn't really matter what name brand it is, I will buy it. So, and it could be expensive and it could not be expensive. But there are things that I do love that I was able to afford as a nurse in the US. But coming down here, I would dare not go to the store and even think about asking them how much is this, like, because like so it's really hard. Really hard, having to adjust your life to what you're used to. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would contest to this. Even moving from Nigeria, some people are used to a certain lifestyle in Nigeria. They move down here and they get humbled as well. Just so as the US, like in the US, I think not just nursing, in all careers, people make a little bit more in America compared to the UK. But people do say, the standard of living is balanced, but I mean we can argue that as well.
It's a whole long big topic. Which we would come to.
We'll come
But
to
for me personally, regardless of the standard of living, I still believe that financially I was in the US more comfortable than I am here, in terms of just doing the things I love to do. For example, my just women keep, like, your hair, you know,
Your
just
makeup.
spa, like, you know, those little
MAC
things.
lipstick.
MAC lipstick, nice perfumes, you know, things like that you would just go and buy without thinking twice about it.
How
'Cause
much is it?
Yeah, because like literally, and I don't have to use my paycheck to buy those things because I could tell myself, and that's what most nurses do. I want to buy this Gucci bag, but I'm gonna go walk 2 days this week, and I will buy that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you really don't have to use your money because in the US we work 37.5 hours a week as nurses, and then after the 37.5 hours, any hours you make after that is time and a half.
Yeah.
So people work 24 hours, time and a half. So can you imagine?
Yeah.
But in the UK, it's quite different. After your 37.5 hours, any hours you want to work after that,
HMRC will come after you.
And apart from HMRC, you have to pick up a bank shift for that. They don't
Yes.
pay you time and a half. They
No.
pay you
No.
a standard
It's
wage
bank.
for that.
Yeah, it's bank.
It's
Yeah.
bank. So,
Yeah.
and it's priced bank.
Bank.
Yes.
But in the US, it's time and a half.
Yeah.
For each hour you make after
After your
37.5.
normal, yeah.
So you can imagine working 24 hours in a week times
Extra.
time and a half.
Yeah. That's a lot, isn't
That's
it?
a lot of
Exactly.
money, yeah.
So you can live comfortably and not sweat. Not compromising, you know,
Anything.
your child's
Yeah.
standard of living because you want to buy a Gucci bag but here you have to think twice, okay, do I want to buy the Gucci bag or do I want my child to, you know, take those
pay
classes
council
extra
tax.
or pay council tax? Yeah, so things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Chichi. Thank you.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think Amaka has some questions.
Thank
for
you, Chichi. This is so nice, honestly. I'm enjoying it, though.
I am
okay,
too.
good. I'm happy you're enjoying it. So, my question is this: what advice will you give to someone moving from the US to UK to help them navigate their culture shock?
I would say expectation is one thing. I think, and just in life in general, I think expectation comes with disappointment.
Yeah.
So when you go somewhere, don't expect things to be a certain way. People's experiences are different. People's stories are different. But I think coming into the UK and just being open-minded. Open-minded as to each day will be different and just willing to accept that differences and making the best out of that differences. I think that's the advice I would give them. Just limiting expectations. Because if you don't, I don't know, because people's resilience are different as well. So what I would bounce back from could be different from what somebody else will bounce back from. It could put people in mental health issues. So I think it's just, you know, limiting your expectations and being open-minded and navigating and just be humble. Be humble because sometimes you are so much in, like, coming from the US, like I said, I was very comfortable. My husband was working and he was comfortable as well. We were comfortable. And coming here, I remember when I moved here, I would tell my husband, I don't shop with lists. We always fight all the time. Like when I go to the grocery store, I don't shop with lists. I go and I pick what I want. I need this in the house and I go and get it. Like that's what I want. Like I need this. But he was like, so how come you don't shop with lists? I was like, because I just walk through each aisle and I see what I want and I put it in my cart.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then when I come in, I don't like off-brand things. Like in terms of, like, if I want to buy ketchup, it has to be like, you know,
Heinz or
like, because I just feel like it tastes different. And I've tasted them and it's different, right?
Okay.
So when I came here, I shop at Waitrose, M&S. Like that's where I do my grocery shopping when I first came here. I was humbled, honey.
Yeah,
I was
that's
humbled.
quite expensive, isn't it?
I was humbled.
So now, where do you shop now?
Aldi, honey. Aldi is my best friend.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Guys,
And
we're
my
not
husband-
trying to promote any shop.
We're not.
No,
Yes.
no, we're just-
And this is not to downgrade any shop. But you guys know that there are there are levels to this. But I'm sorry, guys. I had to humble myself because I asked myself, like, I go to the shop and I buy the same amount of things when I compare the two shop and I see how much I'm spending in one just because says M&S, and then I go and I buy the same exact thing, and it's just a different Audi, but it's the same food.
Yeah.
So you start counting every pennies.
Yeah.
You find yourself counting every penny. And for some reason, I don't know how it happens. Maybe somebody can explain out there. I find that it's hard to get pounds. It's very difficult, and I always wonder why people don't spray pounds. They're always spraying dollars,
pounds,
but it's really difficult to get £1. But dollars is so easy to access. I just feel like it's so easy to access, and it's abundant. But pounds is a little bit more hard, and then you find out when you get to the UK that you're counting every pennies because it's not easy, So I would advise them to just be open-minded.
And do their research as well.
Do their research, and also be willing to adjust, and
change.
If you have to, like I said, when I moved down here, I didn't start off as a nurse right away because I had to go through the whole process.
But
I'm not going to sit at home and wait for the process because even though my bills are paid, I do have personal needs. And I'm not going to sit at home. I had to go, and I was a bank 4 for a while I was waiting. So you have to be willing to do that, even though, because I do have some friends, well, not friends, but some associates that will tell me, oh, you took that amount of money, and I'm like, okay, it's either you're getting $0 or you're getting something. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to get that something and not $0 or £0, and so you have to be willing to get something, because no matter how small it is, you are able to do things with that.
Exactly.
But if you're so proud and tell yourself, oh, I can because they're not paying this, I can't take that. I just can't work this. I can, because I do have a friend who also moved from the US, but because of the amount of money they're paying, she just cannot see herself working for that amount of money.
Oh, right.
So I think everybody's different. Just willing to just be humble and take,
Well, whether you're humble or not, UK will humble you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
Uche.
you.
Oh my goodness, I'm loving this. I'm loving it very well, So, my next question to you is this. It's in 2 parts, right? Just tell us everything you know about that. Yeah. So it says, looking back on your experience, right? How do you feel about the transition now?
Yeah.
That's my first question. And then when you finish that, and then the second bit.
The transition now, I think, in all honesty, in career-wise, I find myself, because I think UK give you this leverage to be able to explore your nursing skills in some ways. Compared to the US, we're very limited. There's limited things that the nurses are able to do, and that's just the law and the policies that they have in place there as well. But I always tell my husband, if I'm to go back to the US today, I feel like I will make so much changes because I'm so confident in my career.
Yes.
I'm so confident in my career because the UK have gotten me there. They've given me the tools and the skills I need.
That's one thing with UK. I love them.
They do, So they have so many trainings in place for you. So you build your confidence level, and you are able to. Now I feel like I can conquer the world if I go in the nursing career, if I go to the US to work, and I can work anywhere and I'll be fine because the US prepared me for that. They gave me the training, and they put you in tough situations.
You mean the UK or
the UK? The UK, the UK put you in tough situations. Some of them is because they don't have staffing. But you are put in those situations and you learn from them.
It's building you
up.
It's
build you up and makes you stronger. Exactly. And so I would say that then definitely my career has advanced being here in the UK.
That's good. Well done.
Thank you so much. Would you say that is a positive change for you and your family?
It is a positive change because, like I said, my confidence much bigger career wise. So yeah, I can explore because I do remember working in New York, and I was more. I specifically just wanted to work for a hospital because I know they have their policies in place and I'm protected. And I wasn't too confident just because people make money, but you have to be willing to exploit working for travel agencies and traveling to other countries, I mean cities and states and stuff. So and that's where you make most of the money. But I wasn't there yet because I didn't feel confident enough to make those trips. But I tell myself, like, if I'm to go back now, I'm not going to work as a staff nurse for any hospital.
You'll be a travel nurse.
I will be a travel nurse because I have that confidence, and that's because UK has prepared me for that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
We do appreciate your coming and your honesty as well. That this is what this is all about. Just saying it the way it is. You just poured your heart. So guys, you have seen it. You've listened to what we've got to say. Thank you so much. Thank you. Chichi, thank you. Please do share this video, like, comment. Tell us what you think as well. And we're good to go. Okay? So Karen, what do you want to say?
Just thank you so much, Chichi. I mean, it's a whole lot, and you really covered it.
Exactly.
I'm very happy that you have positive feedbacks about migration moving to the UK. And guys, if you have any questions for Chichi, please drop it in the comment section. And we'll be happy to answer you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.